जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय रा जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी यशोदनंदन जय ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा बनचारी यमुना तीरा बनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे निताय गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल निताय हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव जय Gurudev, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev. Jai Srila Prabhupada Ji ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad. Shrimate A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ji ki Jai, Anant Kori Vaishnav Vrind ki Jai, Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री देव गदाधर शिवसती गौरवंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपनाथ श्याम कन राधा कन गिरिवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवदीप धाम की जय, गंगा माई की जय, यमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, गौर निताई की जय। श्री श्री राधा गोलोक नंद की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताई की जय। Or Pranandi Hari, all glorious assembled devotees, all glorious assembled devotees, all glorious assembled devotees, all glorious, all glorious, all glorious, Shri Guru and Gauranga, Srila Prabhupada Ji ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudevaya. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. So we are continuing our study from Canto 10, chapter 47, and verse is 20. Priya Sakha Punar Aga Prayasi Priyashita Kim Kim Varaya Kim Nyordhe Manyoyo Sime Angam. Nyasi Katham Asman Dushaja Dundva Parashvam Satatam Rishi Sobhyam Shrirvadhu Sakam Aste Priya Sakha Punir Aga Priyasase Preshati Kim Varanam Kim Anuradhe Manyonishayosi Asmi Angam Nasyanti Katham Ishamam Dushyate Devanda Prashavam Satatam Rishi Sayamya Shri Ravadhut Sakam Aste Priya Sakha Punaraga Prayasa Prasishtam Kim Varyam Kim Anuradhe Manyoya Yesiyame Anga Nayasi Katham Ihasman Dushya Jadavanda Prasavam Statatam Rishi Samyo Shri Ravadahu Sakam Aste Yapinitaga prayasi prasita kim. Varya kim anuragde maneo jasiyamanga. ISKCON ishma dushyasara parashvam. Statam rishi samyam sharira naste. Priyase sakha punaraga prayase prishtastam kim. Nayapsita range maniosi ame siyanga. Stam dashate devam parsharam. Satatam rashi samya shri ravadaya sakam aste. Word, okay, sorry. No, sorry. Okay, word to word translation. Priya of my beloved, Sakha, O my friend, Puna, once again, Aga, you have come, Prayasa, by my beloved, Prishita, Sant, Kim, whether, Vraya, please choose, Kim, what, Anuradhe, do you wish, Manyaniya, Nina, to be honored, Asi, you are, me, by me, Anga, my dear one, Nyasi, you are bringing, Katham, why, Iya, here, Asman, us, Dusteja, impossible to give up. Davandava, conjugal connection with whom? No. Pravasavam, to the side. Satatam, always. Urashi, on the chest. Samya, O gentle one. Shriya, the goddess of fortune. Baduha, his consort. Sakam, together with him. Aste, is present. Translation by the disciples of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ji ki Jai. O friend of my dear one, has my beloved sent you here again, I shall honor you, friend. Please choose whatever boon you wish. But why have you come back here to take us to him whose conjugal love is so difficult to give up? After all, gentle bee, his consort is the goddess Shri, and she is always with him, staying upon his chest. So let us repeat. O friend of my dear one, has my beloved sent you here again? I shall honor you, friend. So please choose whatever boon you wish. But why have you come why have you come back here to take us to him? Whose conjugal love is so difficult to give up? After all, gentle bee, his consort is the goddess Shri, and she is always with him, staying upon his chest. Purport by disciples of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada Ji ki Jai. In Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srila Prabhupada explains the context of this verse. While Radharani was talking with the bee, and the bee was flying hither and thither, it all of a sudden disappeared from her sight. She was in full mourning due to separation from Krishna and felt ecstasy by talking with the bee. But as soon as the bee disappeared, she became almost mad, thinking that the messenger bee might have returned to Krishna to inform him all about her talking against him. Krishna must be very sorry to hear it. She thought in this way. So she was overwhelmed by another type of ecstasy. In the meantime, the bee, flying hither and thither, appeared before her again. She thought, Krishna is still kind to me in spite of the messengers carrying disruptive messages. He is so kind that he has again sent the bee to take me to him. Srimati Radharani was very careful this time not to say anything against Krishna. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti explains that the goddess of fortune, Shri, has the power to assume any different forms. Thus, when Krishna enjoys other women, she stays on his chest in the form of a golden lion. When he is not consorting with other women, she puts aside this form and gives him pleasure in her naturally beautiful form of a young woman. According to Srila Vishwanath Natha Chakravarti, this statement of Srimati Radharani expresses Pratijalpa as described by Srila Rupa Goswami. Dusya jedam dadva bhave asmin prapitar narahite anudadhutam duta sammane noktam yatra sa pratijalpakaha. When the lover humbly states that although she is unworthy of attaining her beloved, she cannot give up hoping for a conjugal relationship with him. Such words, spoken with respect for the beloved's message, are called Pratijalpa. Ujjwal Nilamani 14.198. Here Srimati Radharani has given up her harsh feelings and humbly acknowledges the greatness of Shri Krishna. Om Jnanatarvindasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuritmilamana Tasmai Shri Gurue Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapidam Yena Bhutle Swam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Sappadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Adapatakamelam Shri Guru Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Tvetam Tam Samjivam Sadvetam Sadbhutam Pratijina Sahityam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Cha. Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu Din Bandhu Jagat Pate Gopesh Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastate Tapt Kanchan Gorange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwanusate Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatrubhyasya Kirpa Sindhu Bhavacha Patita Nam Pavane Bhyo Vaishnave Bhyo Namo Namah. So here we are continuing Radharani's talk with the bee, Now you can understand that technically Radharani is alone. Now how do you talk to a bumblebee? So actually these are her sentiments and her deep love for Krishna. So she's talking to bee, her heart out, because she's missing Krishna very, very much, and she has no other way to express through talking to bee. So that's what's happening here. Now let's see what Jiva Goswami's Tika says. The bee went some distance away, since that is its nature, or it left for some other place, or from either Anmanda or fainting. She did not search out the bee, or not seeing the bee for a moment, she suddenly developed the mood of Kala Antarita, a woman in separation, fearing that Krishna would disregard her because of the nature of longing in prema, or the bee returned, or another bee came, or she searched and found the bee in joy. She speaks to the bee in 2 verses. In the first verse she praises the bee in the first half. O pleasing friend, she says this because the bee is engaged in helping her. Have you been sent by my lover? She expresses with joy. What do you desire? As previously, what do you desire? As previously, the ending is ungrammatical. The verb should be anuradhashte, or I desire something. I desire that you go to Mathura. And then in the second half of the verse, she speaks mildly, reasonably, and pitifully. But what method will you take us to the side of your friend who is now having a relationship with the women of Mathura, who are so unlike us? Those relationships will be hard for him to give up. But if you go there, the women will criticize you. They are certainly of low character. Lakshmi has gone from here to Mathura with him. She is keeping him there for her pleasure. She speaks of Lakshmi with hatred. She resides on his chest with great happiness. She refers to the golden line on his chest. The expression is similar to the following: Gopya kim archada asyam kushalam samavanurda damodaraha sadhvam api gopikam. My dear gopis, what auspicious activity must the flute have performed to enjoy the nectar or the Damodara's lips independently and leave only a taste for us gopis, from whom that nectar is actually meant. So here we can say, referring to Srimad Bhagavatam 10:21-9, her statement indicates her opposite intention. This shows her boldness. She shows malice and envy, though she is constantly there with him, because he respects only prema, which is the very nature of Braja. He does not respect her in the same way. He respects her greatly there because of the presence of the wealth of the 4 goals of human life: how can we there? Can we go there? Therefore, bring him here. This expresses hatred, envy, and desire. So, now you can see here that Radharani is showing her emotions in anger, like it happens to us also. Sometimes we are not happy, so we are criticizing the other party. That happens quite often, and actually the criticism she does it is 2 times. First time the bee is coming, then she's talking bad things about Krishna. She's telling him how malaise he is. I mean, he's enjoying with the women of Braja, and he's not doesn't know prema. He's so they're trying to criticize badly in that sense, But at the same time, when the bee comes back or other bee comes, so this time she's very careful that not to criticize Krishna, and she feels lucky that the bee has come back, and she thinks it's her fortune that Krishna has sent the bee back. Now this time she doesn't criticize, but actually like praises Krishna in some way, not criticize heavily, Now, as we know, that Lakshmi stays on the chest of Krishna all the time. So she's trying to compare the love of gopis with the love he may find in Mathura, And she's trying to imply that women in Mathura are not chaste as gopis are. And they are very, very attached to Krishna, And so she's trying to think that Krishna will come back because he won't find the same kind of love, So she's still trying to talk because of my sharp word. Perhaps the messenger, the bee, has gone off to Mathura, she thinks, and must have told everything. This is the first time when she's thinking that bee has gone to Krishna and must have told whatever I was saying, and now he may become indifferent to me. Considering this, Radha is giving up her quarrelsome mood and staring at the path and said, "Perhaps my beloved, the ocean of love and crown of good qualities will again end." So she's very respectful. "Oh, my dear friend," this time she says to the bee, "you are the dearmost of my life. Though wounded by the arrow of my words, by your good qualities, you have forgotten my offenses and returned back." So these are all the sentiments gopis have. I mean, these are deep, sentiments, and now this portrays bhakti, like you can consider that bee is messenger from Krishna, and the interaction of Radha speaking to be, expressing her feeling of separation, that's the only way Radharani knows how to express herself. The conversation is extremely rich in expression of her feeling of separation and intense love, as well as she expresses the pain of separation in her talk, So that's what the conversation is between Radha and B, and you can see this part of love is partly the bhakti, the own part of Radharani, as she expresses her true love, So this whole conversation captures the essence of emotion of Radha for Krishna. So in this dialogue, is that she's expressing to be her deep love in separation through intense emotions, So these are the feelings of Radharani, and the thing is, when she becomes angry, she's like, before that they were angry, gopis were angry at Akruras, when he took Krishna back to Mathura, So the gopis actually criticized Akrura also. Now these are the same sentiments, here they are telling Akrura means that you are not cruel. Then she said, no, you are not Akrura, you should be called Krura, because you are very unmerciful, you are very harsh. So why you are being called Akrura? You are taking Krishna back to Mathura, So gopis were very, very unhappy in that regard. And so here again, when now the context is that Uddhava is visiting Braja, because Krishna sent Uddhava actually to pacify the gopis, because gopis were expecting Krishna to come back long time back, and Krishna could understand that feeling, So to pacify and also to make Uddhava understand the topmost devotion or topmost prema, So he sends him to Mathura, And because he resembled so much so with Krishna that his face and his etiquette and all that, and actually gopis took in a way in the beginning that perhaps Krishna has come back. And then they realized, no, it's not Krishna, it's Krishna's friend, Uddhava, who has come back. And so in this way, their gopis are trying to talk to Uddhava and trying to bring him in a secluded place so that they can talk their heart out, and they are very, very respectful to him and want to talk separately so that they can tell the whole thing, to Krishna, and like gopis missed Krishna so much, and they were concerned about Krishna's parents, like Mother Yashoda, and so gopis used to give and dutifully visit Mother Yashoda every day, early in the morning. And they knew that Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda were grief-stricken, and they have made sure that they come and pay their respect to the elderly personalities in Vrindavan, especially Yashoda Maya, and that way that they would come and talk to them also. But when gopis saw Uddhava, they wanted to talk to him and wanted to understand what message he might have brought from Krishna, So they were very happy, and they're trying to talk to him very freely, without embarrassment. One can understand the family affection is very strong, So now you can understand how Nand Maharaj and Yashoda Maya felt, but at the same time, gopis had even equal and better affection for Krishna, But in criticism, at times you say things which you shouldn't be saying, and Radharani says and criticizes that like Krishna has forgotten us, and she's comparing that to that a student, when after finishing her education, gives up relationship with the teacher and the school. So similar is your activity, that you don't care anymore. So that's what it is. And similarly, after a forest fire, when there is a scarcity of green grass, deer and other animals give up the forest, And so a man, after enjoying his girlfriends, gives up his connection with her. In this way, all gopis are indirectly accusing Krishna, and citing many examples like that, Now, Uddhava could understand the gopis' pain in a way, because now he's directly talking to them and experiencing their sentiments, And now he could realize, wow, what kind of a devotion and affection these gopis have for Krishna is just amazing. And especially one of the gopis, she is so absorbed in the thought of Krishna that she is talking to Bumblebee, So he is very, very, very impressed, And he is beginning to understand what Krishna was telling him, that if you have to see the love, you must go to Vrindavan and experience the love of gopis who are suffering in the separation of me, And basically that's what Uddhava felt in the end, that that gopis' love is the topmost. There's nobody else, and he tries to say that I cannot understand what kind of austerities these gopis must have performed in order to have association of Krishna, The gopis are not ordinary women. We shouldn't take like that. Devotees, the gopis are very, very advanced. Like in a sense, they are almost so very close or almost at par with Krishna's most deep associates, like as confirmed in Brahma Samhita, they are expansions of the pleasure potency of Krishna, and his potency is not different from him. So gopis are also indirectly expansions of Krishna's love in expression, expressed in devotee form, and they are feeling all that pain in their heart. The gopis have only Krishna in their heart. They are completely surrendered, very dedicated all the time, They say all these bad things when you're hurt inside. I mean, we can experience that also. And they're telling Krishna, you are cruel. You should not have left us, in this situation, You are cruel. You don't understand. You were supposed to come back and you don't come. I mean, what kind of person you are? You promise, but then you don't fulfill your promise. So that way they are expressing their sentiments, especially Radharani when talking to Bumblebee, So so these are the pure love being expressed here in this verse, like talking to the bee, So anyhow, sorry, I didn't realize my watch is behind. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada Ji ki Jai.
Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Bhagom Vikamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Valen Priya Priti Manti Pasyanti Panti Kayanti Jiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adi Purusham Amaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Amaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Namaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Namaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Namaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham.
Gokula Charuni Mandala Mahite Gokula Charuni Mandala Mahite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jayate Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jayate Damodara Rati Vadana Veshe Hari Niskyuta Vrinda Vipideshe Hari Niskyuta Vrinda Vipideshe Damodara Rati Vadana Veshe Hari Niskyuta Vrinda Vipideshe Vadana Veshe Hari Niskyuta Vrinda Vipideshe Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jayate Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jayate Vishabhanu Dadi Navashashilake Lalita Saki Guna Ramita Vishake Vishabhanu Dadi Navashashilake Lalita Saki Guna Ramita Vishake Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jayate Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jayate Karunam Kurumai Karuna Parite Sanaka Sanatana Vanita Charite Karuna Parite Sanaka Sanatana Vanita Charite Karunam kurumai karuna barite sanaka sanatana vanita jarite karuna barite sanaka sanatana vanita Hey Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate Gokula Charuni Mandala Mahite Gokula Charuni Mandala Mahite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Goloka Nanda Radha Goloka Nanda Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Goloka Nanda Radha Goloka Nanda Shri Radhe Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada O Radha, all glories unto you, all glories unto you, beloved of Madhava, object of worship for all the young girls of Gokula. You dress yourself in such a way as to increase Lord Damodar's love and attachment for you. You are the controller of Vrindavan, the pleasure groves of Lord Hari. You are a new moon arisen from the ocean of King Vrishabhanu. You are the friend of Lalita, and your wonderful qualities, friendliness, kindness, and faithfulness to Krishna, endear you to Vishaka. You are an ocean of compassion, and your divine characteristics are described by the four Kumaras, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sananda, and Sanat Kumara. O Radha, please be merciful unto me. Srila Rupa Goswami ki jai. Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhavavahada Vagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitarinam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra Nitami Amita Smarane Nakalaha Eta Drisita Vakripam Bhagavam Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishani Haganina Nuraga Trinarapi Sunichena Tarurapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Vishne Bhavambuddha Vipaya Nijananaya Nayanam Kalada Shudaraya Vadanam Gadgada Rudargira Pulakar Nichitam Vapukara Tavanamagrane Bhavishati Yuga Yitam Nimeshena Chakshusha Prabhishayitam Sunyayitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahena Me Ashti Shiva Pararatam Panastumam Adarshana Marma Hatam Rutuva Yata Tatava Abato Matman Nastusta Evana Paraha. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years, and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, defeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is a prime benediction for humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon, the life of all transcendental knowledge, transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy name. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the whole Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs on my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one as Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted